all of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you the R.I.G.G.I.N.G in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resided in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain, we are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you to the IPOB. No penny in a ditch, penny in a washotu. Keep the mug in a belly big robaso, opposite Kendoha. Or passes really well. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating. The saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them. And we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. To believe that we ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail, because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on to the very command of yours, your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo, because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living, that they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer, now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. He said,
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone and according to where you are. I greet you and I welcome you to this edition of this broadcast, where I am going to be navigating the strategies where your political leaders are using. Of course, I made a exposition few days ago, and I have seen the confirmation of such exposition, which I am going to actually bring it back to you so that you will know whenever we come online, we are coming to tell you facts and figures, because our frontal lobe is actually activated. That is the reason why we will be able to actually notify you about the plans of those who are trying to bring you down at all costs. Like I always say, you continue to get carried away. The enemy is continuing to actually, escalate their attack, their blackmail against IPOB family, against our leader, and they continue to torture our leader in the DSS dungeon. These are the things we are going to navigate this afternoon. Of course, you know the video that you are seeing right in front of your screen. We are in this video. The first place I saw this post was in somebody who is called, or who was called Shehu Umar, a northern man. Shehu Umar, a Fulani man rather, a Fulani man, was the first person who posted this on Facebook. When was that? Let me confirm. Okay, yesterday. Last night was when he posted this. Now, we are going to talk about it as well. So, first of all, there was something, if you were listening to what the prayer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, if you understood the content of that prayer, there was something that he said there that I want to use as a point of contact to actually inform so many of you. Because this is exactly what I said a few days ago as well, that somebody who is not decolonized will never give you freedom. Somebody who is not free, mentally free from the lies and manipulations of his masters, they will never give you freedom. I am going to remind you, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said in his prayers, he said something: we have worshipped an European God, we have bowed down before them, and that is the reason why Chukwu Okike Abiama is angry with us. And you don't understand the meaning of that, because so many of you are actually clouded by these teachings of Christianity without you understanding the meaning or the irreparable effect it has on your own daily life and daily activities. You are clouded by the manipulations, because this has been what they have been teaching you. This has been all you have been learning ever since you were born. You grew up knowing this, and you become so comfortable at that you can no longer reason to see this thing that I've been knowing, this way that I've been using, praying, fasting and doing everything. Every day bad news. Every day everything is getting worse. Every day the country is getting worse, because the prayer you pray, for your prayer to be answered, if you are praying for economic, freedom or financial freedom, for you to get that financial freedom, the country where you are domiciled must be able to have this financial freedom first in order to extend it to you. Because if your country where you are domiciled does not have a financial freedom, there is no way you are going to achieve financial freedom. So whenever you are praying such prayers where there is no financial freedom, I bet you are fooling yourself. And the earlier you know it, the better for you. To stop wasting your time, because you are clouded by the knowledge that was taught, that was instilled in you via Christianity, which has now crippled your mind from understanding the difference between you going astray or going contrary to what your God has given to you, rather than fooling yourself in the name that you are fasting and praying, in the name that you are sleeping in the church altar, in the name that you are going to night vigil, in the name that you are rolling yourself on the floor in the church, or the one criminal who was kneeling down going to the mountain, who called himself, did he tell himself that he is, what does he call himself? A prophet, Oblona. Crawling to the mountain, making videos to deceive the gullible followers that their mind is weak from understanding or activation of their mental, frontal lobe is actually invalid. That is the reason why these same people, they continue to go astray without ever understanding their problem. A person who have no freedom will never give you freedom. Before you want to get freedom for Umu Chukwu Okike Abiama, una makwa ife bụ Umu Chukwu Okike Abiama. Do you know the meaning of Umu Chukwu Okike Abiama? Before you get freedom for Umu Chukwu Okike Abiama, or before you come to this fight for the freedom of Umu Chukwu, you must be able to be whiter than white, whiter than snow. What does that mean? You must be able to reject those things that has enslaved you. You must be able to say no to everything that has taken you to this captivity that you found yourself into. Number one of them is religion. Regardless of where you are affiliated to, it does not matter. Number one of your slavery is religion. Whenever you begin to understand it, will be the time you are getting ready to emancipate. Because all this preaching and teaching all the time, you believe that it is all about these people that are preaching against your church, against your pastor or your doctrine, that they are pagan or they are atheist. They don't believe in God. You don't believe in God more than me. You don't know God more than me. You don't know how to communicate with him more than me. You are doing it the wrong way. And that is the reason why there is massive suffering in our land. There is massive rebellions in our land. There is massive, people going astray every day by day, dying for lack of knowledge. Because the knowledge that was supposed to be given to them through their influencers, they were turned upside down. They were giving them evil knowledge. They were giving them a destruction rather than giving them a knowledge. This has been the problem, and this has been tormenting and destroying our people without them actually understanding what is their problem. That is the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, we have worshipped a European God. That is the reason why he said it. I want you to listen to it.
All of you that's in our lives, we have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But
now we have done everything. We have bowed and worship European idol. Do you know what is European idol? That Jesus Christ with blue eyes that they set in your Roman Catholic altar, set in your cross and all these places. That is European idol. Because the Bible said, Do not make any graven image. He never tell you you should make white image or rather not make black image. He said any graven image, you should not bow before them. You should not worship them. It is in the same Bible that they use to introduce these things to you. You should not bow down before them or worship them. But today, you are bowing down before graven image, kissing them, saluting them. What are you trying to say? You know, it is even better for you to go to your village. Go and bow down to your Ogugu. Ogugu is the one that your ancestors are even familiar with. Instead of bowing down to Ogugu Ndota, because that is their own Ogugu. I know so many of you who are very, very Christianized, or who are actually everything about your memories is embedded in Christianity doctrine and their teachings. You will never comprehend my teaching because you will be prejudiced against me, because you are believing that I am the child of Lucifer, because I am speaking the truth. How will you know that I am speaking the truth and all of your pastors are lying to you? Go to the book of Micah 3:11. Go to the book of Jeremiah 6:13. Go to those books. You also add it to the book of Deuteronomy, 14 from 20 to end. Read it. Go to the book of Deuteronomy 28. Read it to an end. Then you will understand that all this affliction, all these sufferings that we are facing today, it was announced in the Bible, and his instruction was given. If you do this, you go this. If you don't do this, you will achieve this. Because we are rebellious. Pastor did everything you have to call to ally upside down. Do you think your oppressor will give you anything that will help you? One hand in the Bible, one hand with slave trade. This was your Bible they took to go and they studied it. They bring it back to you with a graven image, which the same Bible spoke against, with the doctrine, which the same Bible is contradict. They brought it back to you. Now, how can somebody who is embodied, encroached, colonized by these doctrines that is destroying you, that is making you actually to be at war with your ancestral land and your ancestors? When I talk about our ancestors, I'm talking about the ancestors such as Jesus Christ, such as God, the seventh son of Jacob, such as David, Solomon. Do you think that they are looking at you, they are happy with you? Because the implementation that God gave them to give you, you have abandoned it. Come, let us destroy them from being a nation. Psalm 83. As David cried when he saw what is coming to us, he preached, he called, he cried. But because the people he was trying to save, they are rebellious. They are actually, they prefer to be in their comfort zone. They have become very comfortable in their comfort zone. Therefore, they are not going out of it. Because what they will always ask themselves, how can it be? I've been hearing this. If you do this, you go to heaven. If you do that, you go to hellfire, without them telling you what heaven looks like, what is like heaven is, and what hellfire is. They just, half education is very, very dangerous. Because that is the reason why when you hear all those teachings, they will now start tormenting your mind. What if I will go to hellfire when I reject the graven image of Europeans? What if I go to hellfire? without you knowing that it is you are already in hellfire for accepting the graven image of the Europeans and rejecting what your ancestors who worship God in truth and honesty, forgetting that Jesus you are praying, which they have replaced with a white man, was your ancestor. You have forgotten about him, and you are praying to Europeans, the one they call their own Jesus. You believe they will answer you. That is the same reason why today you have to cry to America, cry to these people, cry to all of them to come to your aid, because your human right is being violated. They are the God you are praying to. As long as you are still affiliated to their own doctrine, they are the God you are praying to. Truth to be told, this is what is destroying our people. That is the reason why you see people rising up against their own, killing their own people, because it destroyed us, just like it was said in Deuteronomy 28. The yoke of iron that they are going to put on our neck until you are destroyed, that yoke of iron is a yoke of this suffering. The yoke of the iron they place on the neck of those people in America that they have forgotten even their ancestral name. The yoke of iron, until you are destroyed. The yoke is all about suffering, poverty, limitation, stagnation, to the extent that you start eating one another, fighting one another, because you have no other means to explore other than exploiting each other. We are not like this. They projected us to be like this through suffering, through hunger and starvation. And even the prophecy in Deuteronomy says, in hunger and starvation you shall serve your enemies. In hunger and starvation and thirst, you will be serving them, crying for them to help you. And then you are believing that the same people that is destroying you, that have done everything to destroy you, you call for them to help you, that they will do so. Because your destruction, Facebook is beginning to kick you out. If they kick you out, join yourself back, because they don't want us to preach the truth. But the truth must be spoken. When God, Chukwu Okike Abiama, give us a message, we give it to the living being. Facebook, whether you like it or not, we must proceed and we must continue. If they kick you out, bring yourself back in, because this is the language of heaven. We are speaking what Chukwu Okike Abiama put in our tongue to speak to you. Through the knowledge of Elohim, Chukwu Okike Abiama, who is directing this struggle, we shall continue. So, the earlier you understand that anybody na-akpụ isi ala nye alụsị apịrị apị, be it in Kendocha, this is the worst, will not give you freedom. He will not give you freedom, because they are not free. It takes a free person to help you to be free. That is what I always say. The reason why I started following Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I observed his topics, I have observed, his teaching, his doctrine, his philosophy. I actually found out that he was, he is a decolonized person, rather. He is a free man. He is mentally free. He is not encroached by neo-colonial, strategies to destroy you, dismantle you, while you are believing that, it is natural. He is free from all of these. That is the reason why people like me decided to join and preach this gospel, because it is the only gospel that is going to save mankind. You will believe it is a joke, just like some of these people said that they don't believe in his philosophy. They don't believe in his philosophy. They don't believe in his spirituality, or his whatever they call it. This is one of the pastors who is part of the agent provocateur. He said it loud and clear that he like the teaching of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He like his plan, but he does not believe in his philosophy. Now, I believe I might still have that video. If I have it, let's check if it is this one. If I have it, I will play it.
I kept insulting me, I had to block him. Same thing with Lobis McLaurin. I don't care. We are running a race for the realization of the Biafran dream. If you're not true, if you're not going to stand for the truth, you cannot be my friend. We can unfriend on Facebook, but we are still brethren. We'll go back to Biafra, we are brethren. I don't hate nobody. Right now, like he said, he's against Chikedosim. That he will be saying, he's beginning to see. Because there are lies and deceit. But RI.G.G.I.N.G came out and finished the Dosim and told the whole world. They asked, he said, Dosim fix it. He said, no, the Dosim is destroying things. And the people are so obsessed against Simon Ekpa, who is busy advancing the Biafra cause. Do you know now that they have opened a new account called Biafra Worldwide, IPOB Worldwide? I kept quiet not to talk to him because I wanted him to use his brains and look into what's going on within the Biafran, to work and contribute to the Biafran project. Nobody should collect money from there. Because we're trying to build our country. And you start from the way we start now, we know what we're going to do in the future. Simon Ekpa, whom you are cursing, whom you are disturbing, whom you are galliting things, I began to see that this young man was making sense. And then he passed through the crucible. If he wanted, he would have taken money, gone to Britain, live and live big like us. I don't have any. I don't pay allegiance at my place there before going out to Australia. So I must finish what God has asked me to do. No matter how difficult the terrain is, I'll still go back all alone and preach there. That's the fact. But I'm speaking from the point of view as somebody who's standing on a neutral ground. I pay no allegiance to any particular individual in this movement, except one man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom I'm following. I have never followed any man of God as a preacher of the gospel, because I've looked into their life, I've looked into their ministry, I've looked into their preaching and teaching, I've looked at everything, the way they handle things and finances. In churches where I came out from, ministries where I got involved with, there was none of them that could compare me following them to tell you that this is my spiritual father in the Lord. I don't have any. I don't pay allegiance to any. I pay allegiance to my Lord Jesus Christ. I am known for that. Go and ask. But when Nnamdi Kanu came, preaching Biafra, standing, at the early stage, I didn't buy his idea for information. When he started, at around 2014, when I heard of it, I didn't buy it. Because I was still Nigerianized. Not as if I didn't know all that happened during the war, or I didn't read history. But I just felt, well, let's move on. But the point is, as Nnamdi Kanu kept educating us, sensitizing us, analyzing things, I began to see that this young man was making sense. And then he passed through the crucible. If he wanted, he would have taken money, gone to Britain, live and live big like us. Took money and he built a university in the Republic and he's enjoying. Nnamdi Kanu refused, put his life, his reputation, his family on the line for the Biafran cause. And I looked at him and said, this is a young man. I'm older than him. I'm older than Nnamdi Kanu with about 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, thereabout. But that notwithstanding, I was seeing a young man that has something which I don't have. Brilliant, dealing with the Biafran issue effectively, standing his ground as a man that you can put your hand before and give him thumbs up. And I said, I'm going to join this guy. I've listened to him. He's not a fake man. He's not looking for his pocket. He wants the general well-being of the people. And I followed you on the Biafran issue, not on theology. No.
On the Biafran issue, not on theology. No. Do you know why he is so scared of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu preaching of theology? Which, it is not basically theology, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his teaching is never embedded in theology. Theology is actually a type of teaching that has been implemented to teach you a colonized history, colonized way of life. That is theology. Colonized way of worshiping the idol of Europeans, that is theology. So, the reason why he does not believe in his theology is the same reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, we have worshipped European idol. The theology there that he does not believe in is because he continued to worship European idol, because he is using the worship of European idol and putting money in his pocket by lying to his followers, using the same Bible that contradict his teachings, that contradict his activities, that contradict everything about him. That is the reason why he can never believe in his theology. These are the people who are fighting the DOS today. These are the people who are fighting this movement, the organization structure led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because they can never do things according to the way the instruction was given. The Bible that they are reading, they can never read it according to the way the instruction was given. You follow him, you don't follow his theology. Did Mazen Nnamdi Kanu tell you he's a theologian? Did Mazen Nnamdi Kanu tell you that he is, he is an academia in theology? Did he tell you so? The answer is no. If his teaching was embedded in theology, I was not going to follow him, because the theological teaching is all about lies and deceit. Lies and deceit. Introduction of white man supremacy in the name of God and Jesus Christ. Introduction of it is embedded in theology. Even if you read the Bible that makes you now give you believe, or we assume that gave you that temerity to say you don't believe in his theology, the Bible contradicts your own theology and never contradicts his own teaching. So who is fooling who here? That is the reason why I continue to tell you that so many forces are fighting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because you know why? They don't want him to be the one there, because he knows the problem. He knows the solution. And they know that he knows what they know. So they don't want him to be there. They want somebody that is still under mental slavery. They want people that are still under mental weakness, mental slavery, to be the one to be calling the shot in this movement. That is exactly as a result he tell you he don't believe in his theology. How will he believe in your theology? Because you are a criminal. Your theological approach, your theological, learning or teaching, or, whatever you are doing around it, it is all about duping people in the name of pastorship, in the name of priesthood. Teaching them Bible upside down. That is why you don't believe in his theology, because he will read the book of Matthew for the book of Deuteronomy for you. You don't believe in the old ways, but you believe in the old ways of the Europeans. That is the reason why when you see so many people, they call themselves Christian, when you tell them about the verse in the Old Testament, they tell you, we don't believe in the old ways. Jesus Christ have died for the old ways to be passed away. Now everything remains new. That was the idea that they used, the adage they used to actually introduce you to theology, to introduce you to their doctrine, introduce you to bowing down to European idol. That is exactly how it is. Exactly. All things have passed away. Everything remains new. So that you will not remember your past, to use it to correct your future. So that you will never go back to your past, to see where you have gone wrong, to see where you have fallen short. You will never go there. All you want to do is to come to the present. Now, if you don't go to the past to find a way how you will correct your present, how then will you be able to use present to correct future? How are you planning for your future if you have not gone to the past to know your problem and come and use it to solve the present. Then you use the present to get ready for the future. How are you going to thrive? Because you are not making any implementation or laying any foundation that is going to enable you to thrive. How are you going to get freedom? If they now tell you now go to get your freedom, what are you going to do inside your nation? You continue to do the same problems that destroyed you. Is that not what you are going to do? Every time you say to people you are using the same solution and expecting different results, that is exactly what you are doing. Whenever you are supporting somebody who is not mentally free from European idol and from European God, and they say they want to give you freedom, and you happen to be an African person, that person is lying to you. And they will never be able to actually give you anything. They are lying to you. God is not an author of confusion. It's either you go east or you go west. It's either you agree or you disagree. It's either you are hot or you cold. Otherwise, you will be spat out. It is up to you to know what you want, not for you to be actually contemplating or trying to believe it is all about coming to be violent, tell me who we are going to what. No, it is not about that. It is about trying to understand the system that actually crippled you. If you understand the system that crippled you, then you will be. Do you know the reason why cyber securities are actually one of the best paying jobs? Because they will be able to, when there is an invasion or there is an attack to the database of whatever they are securing, they will be able to build a resistance. Study that thing, whatever that is actually the data that is actually corrupting your system or trying to, get into your database. You study it so that you will now build a counter software. You now developed a counter software that will be able to counter it automatically if another person use it next time. How are you going to know your solution to your problem when you have not studied the problem? You must study, you must know the problem. But those who does not know it, they feel that Biafra struggle is all about coming to social media shouting, we are going to do, we are going to say, we are going to do, when we are going to do nothing. Be realistic with yourself. Don't be fooled, because the more you are getting fooled, the more your brain is getting weak. The more you are being lied to. Because everything that you do every day, every teaching is actually the opposite of colonization is teaching. Or should I say that what brings colonization? I know that, academically, I am not correct in saying the opposite of colonization is teaching, but I am actually putting it in a way that you will understand that colonization starts with teaching. It must start with teaching. It is actually, they implement your system of education, implement your system of worship, implement your system of discipline. Now they embed it in a way that each and every time you are learning this, keeping it, believing that it is your savior, they will have the upper hand to exploit you without you actually reacting. Now, let me move away from here, because from this area, you will now understand that many people follow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because when he is talking, they feel better for what Nigeria has put them through. But they don't understand the teaching. And those are all of them that has fallen short today. That's why he tells you, I don't believe in his philosophy.
Took money and he did at university in the Republic and he's enjoying. Nnamdi Kanu refused, put his life, his reputation, his family on the line for the Biafran cause. And I looked at him and said, this is a young man. I'm older than him. I'm older than Nnamdi Kanu with about 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, thereabout. But that notwithstanding, I was seeing a young man that has something which I don't have. Brilliant. Dealing with the Biafran issue effectively. Standing his ground as a man that you can put your hand before and give him thumbs up. And I said, I'm going to join this guy. I've listened to him. He's not a fake man. He's not looking for his pocket. He wants the general well-being of the people. And I followed you on the Biafran issue, not on theology. No. And Nnamdi Kanu carried his work effectively.
On Biafra issue, not on theology. And the reason why they are choosing Simon Ekpa today, do you know the reason? It is only because Simon Ekpa is somebody who is still under the neo-colonial chain, which is called the way of the Christian doctrine, Christianity doctrine, worshipping the idol of a white man. So all these pastors, they have ganged against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because the teaching of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is actually contradicted their philosophy, or will I say their philosophical or whatever they are teaching you in the church. The teaching of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, actually, it contradicts them. It contradicts all of them and their doctrine. That is the reason why you shouldn't be surprised seeing pastors joining agent provocateur, because they don't want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be there. They want somebody who will be preaching them. Because if you don't know it now, check the statistics. From the preaching of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, so many people woke up and actually desist from being exploited by Christian churches. True or false? So these pastors, they don't want it. These reverends, some of them that don't want to change, that will continue to live in their ignorance because it is putting food on their table. It is actually making them to thrive financially, giving them auditorium, private jets. That is the reason why. If church is a good thing, how come there is churches all over the place in Nigeria? But nothing, they have never prayed to change your situation. Rather, it is getting worse. Every cracks and corners of Nigeria, you see church, mortuary, auditorium. You will not see these people using that money to build employment, create jobs, build factories. You will never see them using that money, using those plots that they are consuming, building auditorium. You will not see them using it to build a stadium for sports, so that your children will have opportunities tomorrow. No, they build auditorium because it must favor them. That is the reason why church leader dies. People start fighting for who is going to be the next of kin. Is that God? Because before somebody dies, God will ordain already. Others. That is one thing you should understand about those who are trying to deceive you. And the same teaching, the same system is what Nigeria is using today to destroy you. Just like I said to you a few days ago, that this your politicians, what they are doing, it's all about making sure that they keep you on hunger and starvation. While you are suffering from this hunger and starvation, they will now go out there. When election is few days to go, they will now go out there, make sure that they start buying rubbish plus 2,500. Maybe they buy you one packet of curry powder, buy you one packet of thyme, buy you one packet of dawa or one sachet of dawa, buy you Maggi, buy you whatever they have to buy you. and they will present it to you. You know what is going to happen? Because they will use it to buy your vote. And you, because there is hunger in the land. There is hunger in the land. And that is what now brings the adage that says, man does not live by bread alone. Did you see now where Jesus Christ now created this adage? Man does not live by bread alone. Because if you continue to believe that without bread you are dying, you will continue to beg for that bread every day, without actually finding everlasting solution that will give you adequate bread that you will be able to share with others. That is the way it is. So they have seen that they have to first of all implement a system. This system is in fact, it is a system. A system is something you do not see, but it is happening and affecting your day-to-day activities, your everyday life, your expenditure, your budget. It happens to them. It actually affects them. That is a system. And this system that they have established is system of bringing high inflation to the economy of Nigeria. High inflation triggers every prices to go high. Your goods and commodities, the prices are double. Transportation prices are double. Petrol prices is double. And there is fuel scarcity. They are not doing this because there is no oil, engine or crude oil. Because even from crude oil, you get natural gas, you get petrol, you get diesel, you get, I think you even get helium. You get helium from this crude oil. You also get with this other gas. There is more than 5 things you get in one crude oil when you cook them. So the same crude oil is actually the wasting in the water in Biafra land. Which Biafra land, this crude oil are being controlled by the same Nigeria, which you are affiliated to. Now the same Nigeria cannot give you petrol. The same Nigeria cannot give you, diesel in a good price, because they want to starve you to actually begging, so that they will bring this video that I'm about to show you to you. Listen to it.
See what the FPC give us. So I'm just coming out and it seems I bring my butter start and give me one shirt, 1 key order, oil, pepper, and sardine sachet, Maggi, 10 pieces inside, 2 indomie, 1 sugar, 1 salt, 1 gari, 1 jerrycan of gari, 1 jerrycan of rice, 1 jerrycan of beans, a rubber for hand. Nothing very good. And this one empty cell, nothing inside. See what they give us. See what they take us for this country.
So before they give you this thing now, what did they ask you?
You just ask me for my butter start. I give them the right, what they want right. Then give me back and carry this one. Give me.
So now they say this one now for the next 4 years now, they don't settle you with that now.
That is settlement with that.
Now they settle me with this. So this one now, how many days you go chop now?
This one 1 day now. This indomie, nobody even anything say.
And now me say, with this one now, you go vote APC now.
Me, I don't go get APC.
Why now? Why they don't give you this?
I don't go just collect it. Don't give me a collect, I don't go get APC. What they do us for this 8 years now, it's okay.
It's good now. Anything where they bring, collect them. Now you're right. After all, now APC, they government.
I go vote for what
They do Christmas for you now.
This one Christmas, or New Year gift, I don't know.
So make you vote your conscience.
I go vote Peter
Vote
Obi.
for the one where we say this country go better.
Now what we go vote na Peter
We
Obi
cannot
go vote.
continue to live in this little things when no go last us
We don tire
2
for
days.
this. We don tire for this.
Then for the next 4 years, you will suffer, your children go suffer. Make everybody share your out. This is happening live now.
We don tire.
This is for somebody who understand though. Remember, this is for somebody who understand or who has woken up, because this knowledge, we must continue to feed it to our people. One day they will eventually wake up. That is the reason why the parable says the work is plenteous, but the laborers are few. This is what Jesus Christ said. The job is plenteous, the laborers are few. But you have pastors, millions of them all over the place. You see how contradicts, Bible contradicts them. So, because this message is now sinking in, that is the reason why people like this man, one in a million, will come and say, I will take whatever they give to me. I will vote who I want to vote for. Now you will begin to understand that the reason why you are so poor now is because election is coming up. People will tell you they are saving money for election. They are segregating the country. There is no such thing. They are making you feel poverty, so that whatever they will hand over to you to sell your vote, you will accept it and you will appreciate it. That is exactly what they are doing. The World Bank, which is Tifubu, the World Bank, he will do everything he can to get into that power. He said it is his turn after all. Now, this is exactly the same thing we've been telling you about. That whatever you do, how much does Peter Obi have? The only thing I will say that he is a lucky man, that he is not spending his money. Because that money it will go down the drain. That is how lucky you are. That you are not spending your money. You are just wasting your time and the time of people who strongly believe in you. That is what you are doing. How many godfathers are in the West or even in the East? All the godfathers, in fact, the northern people are the people who are practicing godfatherism in politics. So, do you have any godfather in the East? The answer is no. Is there anybody that is worthful in the eyes of Fulani in the East? Is there anybody who is worthy to stand and challenge Fulani or to be a godfather in the presidential Nigeria politics? The answer is no. The godfatherism is all in Fulani land, in the north. That is the reason why they have how many local governments, they have how many senators in the House of Representatives. Their numbers are always the higher number, even double or triple from what you have in your own area. This is the sign and the result of a conquered nation, conquered people. You are conquered, and there is no way you will come out of it until you actually say no. Enough is enough. Shake it off. Divide Nigeria. Let everybody go their way. Because the time everyone will wake up in that damnable contraption called Nigeria. Remember that the few that has woken up right now, imagine how Nigeria is feeling the heat. In 2023, millions are going to wake up. In 2023, there is a lot going on. So, where are you going to be in 2025? Nigeria. The answer is down the drain. So if you are Nigeria, start expecting yourself down the drain. Those who are affiliated to one Nigeria. Because there is nothing you will do to thrive as long as you are still believing in this Europeans' creation called Nigeria. Have you ever seen a master doing something that will enable a slave to stand tall in the, in the global stage? So that how will they stand tall to challenge them tomorrow? Have you ever seen such? You can never see it because it doesn't happen. It will never happen. People are dying like flies. People are dying like flies. From the north to the west, from the west to the east. People are dying like flies every day. Just like you have seen the pictures I have in front of my wall before when I start this program. The first picture you will see in this program, you will see buildings destroyed. These are terrorism. People are dying like flies in Nigeria. You continue to say tomorrow will be better, one Nigeria. From the let me just remove 1 decade. Let me just take out 1 decade. Because if I want not to take it, I would say prior to the time of 1960, where you had your, the type of independence that some people are preaching to get us for Biafra. 1960, you had your first president problem. Let me take out that decade because you will now argue that there was a war. So, in the last, 5 decades and 2 years, 5 decades and 3 years, do you know what has happened? Every 8 years, the next person who is an action man. Every 8 years, the next person is a better man. Every 8 years, the next person is a better man. Until 5 decades, the people in the south, in the eastern region, they will be saying, every 8 years, it is our turn next year. Every 8 years, it is our turn next year. Every 8 years. Now, because Biafra and the IPOB now open the eyes of these lame and common people who are actually found the opportunity to be in the political space, doing as they please, believing that they are going to actually take them anywhere. But they were all bunch of cowards. They are serious cowards. All the governors, political leaders, both old and young, all of them are cowards in the eastern region of Nigeria. I said so. If you check according to their history, you will understand that they are all cowards. Fulani slaves. Why do I mean? Because in the last 5 decades, I have removed the 1 decade of war and the independent segregations. I removed it. That is 1 decade. I gave you 5 decades. You have never stood up to actually challenge the system to say, it is our turn. You have never done so. But you saw the bravery of IPOB. Today you come out to say, it is our turn. If they don't give us presidency 2023, it means that they don't want us here. What will happen to you for you to know they don't want you here? Before you know, sign. How many signs have you received? Millions of them. How many ill treatment? How many cold treatment? How many exclusions? How many intimidations have you received? The answer is millions of them. You never attracted change in your brain. It never actually attracted anything upliftment or upgrade in your brain or activation of your frontal lobe. It never activated it until IPOB is actually preaching. Now you remember we will sneak in under the skin of IPOB to use them now to go higher in order to steal higher. Because you are not going there to do anything. You are going there to steal higher. You are not going there to represent anybody. There is an adage in our land that said that now they see this Romalo can see weto. It is to through the fact when somebody actually, fat, you will know they actually probably imagine how the feces is going to taste like, what it is going to taste like through the fat. When you release a gas, then from that gas, you will be able to determine the taste of your excretion. That is the reason why you have seen these people in the last, in the last 50 years, they have done nothing. They have done nothing. From the small position they have been given, what did they do with it? Every time they build covert for you. After they build covert, they call for commissioning. Just like Hope Uzodinma. Build covert that is like maybe 500 meter. They call for commissioning. If they build airport, it means that that person have worked like a Jesus Christ. You people are in the last 50 years, there is no international airport in the eastern region. But there is international airport in the west. There is international airport in Abuja, in the north. Why? You people did not say anything. You people were there, there is no seaport in the east. In the last 5 decades, you did not complain. Now, all of a sudden, because IPOB came to the party, you now start flaunting P2B. Obedient. And you now obey that. You people never realized that there shall be something like Obi. In the last 5 decades, only when we ask for freedom, when we woke up to demand for what is rightfully ours, you people now start trying to, act like you are now brave. That you are now brave before thy enemies. Because all you do is to consolidate with thy enemies, because your enemy has a peace against you always. If you mess up, they will remind you, just like they did to Rochas Okolocha in 2021. Well, EFCC, Maruchaya Alonabia, traumatize his family, mess him up. That is exactly as a result of whatever you are compromised. Serve the zoo, you will return back in shame. That is exactly what is going on. That is exactly what is actually eating all of you up in the name of political leaders, in the name of political influencers, in the name of traditional rulers, in the name of religious leaders. All of you are inside one basket, blind that leadeth blind. You shall only lead them into the dish. And that dish is what we are trying to come out today. So many of them are coming out from their, from their cocoon to come and tell us rubbish. So many of them are actually fighting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu without Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, without people around noticing, because they call themselves pastors. But what they are actually supporting, the way the decisions they have made, it is going to prove to you vividly that they don't want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu there, because he's uncompromisable. Oga for n'ala, and aga anapukwa ndo n'ara before I enwete freedom. Believe you me. Because gathering of the 12 tribes, we believe that when we talk about 12 tribes, it's just talking about history that never existed. Why is your ancestral name in the book of Genesis 46:16? It is because you are the lost tribe of House of Israel. You must gather their remnant for our freedom to be restored. That is the reason why the freedom started with preaching. We will continue to preach this gospel, even though it is already been written that 2 parts of us will be cut off. All you need to be asking yourself, are you going to be part of that 2 parts that is going to be cut off? Because I and my family, we have chosen to serve the living God, Chukwu Okike Abiama Elohim, Abasitamono. That is the God that we are going to serve. He is not embedded in Christianity. He is not embedded in a white man religion. He is not embedded in Arabic religion. He is not embedded anywhere, but he is and he was and will be. He is everywhere. Whenever we call upon him, he knows the voice of his people. He knows the language of heaven. That is actually the way we are going to get our freedom. Because come rain, come sun, if you don't know the truth, you can never tell the truth. If you don't know the truth, you can never tell the truth. No matter or regardless of how smart you believe you can be, you can never tell the truth. This is ASPIRANTS Tinubu in your screen. They have started sharing food parcels. They decorate it, design it so that because you have never seen something that is like a free lunch or something that is designed, that is, coming from these political, criminals to you. So they have to design it as a person who understands, Yahoo. Design it, send it as a gift. If I na tunu bolu na Nigeria, Yahoo. The Europeans na-atụ your leaders Yahoo. Your leaders na-atụ gị Yahoo. The pastor na-atụ gị Yahoo. Parents now na-atụzi ụmụ ha Yahoo. By the knowledge they are impacting on them. You don't know. Parents are the ones colonizing their children today. You'd have no idea. The system continues to actually, multiply. It continues to evolve, rather, not multiply. It continues to evolve. It keeps on evolving. Each and every time a child is born, you go and initiate them to white supremacy. You change their name, give them a name of a white man. Initiation that you call, it is called colonization. Because these are your role models. They have to tell you what to do. If they ask you to jump, you ask them how high. This is exactly what is going on. Now, I said this a few days ago. The reason for the hunger and starvation, it is as a result of what you are seeing in front of your screen. ASPIRANTS Tinubu, the money man,
they are going about
the World Bank
collecting people
is now
PVC
displaying it.
and give them
The Godfather
this pack
is in the north.
containing what you have seen.
Between ASPIRANTS Tinubu and Atiku, I want you to remove the rest.
They collect your
ASPIRANTS,
PVC,
Atiku and ASPIRANTS
record
Tinubu.
details of the
You might be
PVC,
seeing Atiku as
take
an
your phone
underdog,
number,
but he might be
give you
doing
this.
wonders
So
when time comes.
what do you call that?
You might be saying
It's not left for you
ASPIRANTS
people.
Tinubu
If we
that
like this suffering,
Obi is winning.
let us continue.
Obi is winning in
Otherwise,
social media.
vote there.
Now from there you will understand and ask yourself, when has your opinion ever mattered? Those common men all over social media, bloody civilians, common men on the ground, all over social media, saying obedient. Have you ever asked yourself, sit down, activate your frontal lobe, ask yourself, has your opinion ever mattered in Nigeria? Because you are screaming obedient. Do you think that it is how much you scream obedient, or how you leave Mazen Nnamdi Kanu languishing in jail, focusing on obedient today? Do you think it is what is going to actually save you? Because your opinion does not matter. And when your opinion does not matter, your vote does not count. Because it starts with opinion. If your opinion matters, your vote matters. If your opinion does not matter, your campaign does not matter. Everything about you does not matter. So you are wasting your time. Whether you shout on top of your voice until you become, you start choking, it will never stop Nigeria from undermining your decisions and your opinion or your needs, because your need is not actually in their budget. You are not part of Nigeria budget. Whether you come from the north, come from the west, come from the east, you are not part of Nigeria budget. The only people part of Nigeria budget, it is the political class, politicians and their friends. Those are the only people part of the Nigeria budget. Because through these politicians, they practice nepotism, they practice favoritism. That is how Haneko Kenakanaka. It will never reach you. It will never reach you. That is why when you come to the church, you see miracle, miracle, miracle. This miracle, when I give you money, you come and act. And then people will start thinking that this miracle is happening for real in this church. Father like this, you will be saying that I will wait. One day it will be my turn. What is going to be your turn? What do you know? What do you know? Nothing is going to be your turn because you are not part of the family, which is to give money to come and act like they have gotten miracle. And the money they will give them, some of them, they are threatened. If you ever come and, implicate us, although no one will believe you, I will say you are a demon. There is a spirit of demon in you. There is a spirit of seduction, in you. That is why you try to seduce me. That young woman tried to seduce me. Ye karabata shata karata shataba. He koto choko chora karabara shurada barba. You will start speaking in tongue all of a sudden. Onye na atuntu, onye na asiasi, will start speaking in tongues. Say there is a spirit of seduction in that woman. That is the reason why he couldn't get me, because he that is in me. That is why he is now telling that I made a fake miracle. Because the world is now can never listen to a common person. They want to listen to people of high influence. That is the reason why the people of high influence are compromised. Because for the world to listen to them, they must be compromised. Because it is compromise that got them the influence which they are holding. Some of them, not all of them though. Because they are being compromised. Most of them got influenced through being compromised. So how are they going to actually do something that will enable you to thrive or help you to even get to their level or to get to the quarter of their level without you depending on them, begging them one bag of rice or nonsense that Asuwaji Tinubu and his Fulani friend, they have concocted here, package it nicely in order to give you, to buy your election, to vote. So in this regard, there is a news, lest I forget, of Hamadike being tortured in the DSS dungeon. So many of you who are asking about Barrister Joff, of course you have heard from him. I believe that you are happy now. All these enemies who are waiting to hear something about Barrister Joff. For some of you who are even asking where is Barrister, so that you will go, like I told you, what I told you, that Barrister Joffo will be seeing you today. He was on holiday. While on holiday also, they were doing a wonderful job, making moves to make sure that our leader release is imminent. So there is something that he sent, which after the visitation of our leader, Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, it's true that some of them say that the Jumako is their spokesperson, which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu give message. I haven't seen any message yet from Ejimako ever since you claim you are looking for a job for. So now let us listen and read this piece that was reported last night so that we will send our message correctly. I am not going to read all of them, but let me read the headline. Update on our today's visit to our indefatigable lead client, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, at the headquarters of the Department of State Service, DSS, Abuja, where he is still being illegally and unconstitutionally detained in solitary confinement. I visited our indefatigable client, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, today being the 9th day of January 2023 at the DSS detention facility, Abuja, where he is still being unconstitutionally held in solitary confinement. The legal team spent greater part of the holidays working discreetly on compelling the legal engagement that will ensure and enhance the freedom of Onyendu. Hence, this is our first meeting with Onyendu in the new year. I had fruitful briefing regarding the latest positive update on the hearing of our appeal before the Supreme Court. Kudos to the effort of our erudite lead counsel, Chief Mike Ozokome-san. However, the details remain private and will be made public in due time. Onyendu reiterated his confidence and optimism in the ability of our legal team, eminently led by the legal Iroko, Chief Michael Zokome-san, to beat the federal government of Nigeria to their game. Again, this is where I want you to pay attention, because this is exactly where I am going to talk about, because it is very, very important we send the message right to the world on what the DSS is actually doing with our leader Ohamadike Nnamdi Kanu, what they are doing with him, making him to suffer. But let us read it directly before we engage in it. Now it says again, Onyendu lamented that for the past 9 days, the detaining authority DSS has refused to avail him of his prescribed medication for heart/chest burn, which means our leader is having heart and chest burn, which is the reason why they are not giving him the medication which was prescribed to him by the doctor. If you remember the last time, we lamented that Onyendu needed his own specialist to assist him with his heart condition and his medical condition that is deteriorating. This is not part of the article that I am reading. It is something that I am saying. So let me continue to read the article, because I am reminding you the old one for you to remember that the same medication that their DSS doctors, or maybe I would say zoo doctor that is working for the DSS, gave to our leader, they actually prevent him from using them. That they said, since all channel, which delay is extremely harmful to his health. Since all channel of complaint to the detaining authority DSS has been closed, we have no other option than to always go public to ventilate our grievances with their unlawful activities with respect to their to their management of Onyendu, and to consequently demand that Onyendu's few medications prescribed for the management of his deteriorating health condition be administered immediately and without further ado. Though our erudite counsel, Chief Michael Zokome-san, immediately swung into action to press for the needful to be done without further ado. It is important to point out that only few weeks ago, a cash sum of 1 million naira was made available to the DSS by our lead counsel, Chief Mike Ozokome. Are you paying attention? By our lead counsel, Chief Mike Ozokome. The sum of 1 million naira was made available to the DSS by our lead counsel, Chief Mike Ozokome the San, to specifically be applied for the medical needs and routine meals of Onyendu. Unfortunately, the retained authority, DSS, refused to accept the money, insisting that they have all it takes to cater to Onyendu's medical need and routine. You see, each time we come online to tell you something, you should understand that these people, they know what they are doing. They are all criminals. DSS. Remember, we came to challenge that initiative that you are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but you claim you don't have capacity to look after him. That is the reason why these criminals in the DSS refuse that money, because we have exposed them that it is a money-making scheme for them. Now you have seen, they say they don't have the capacity. Now the money has been made available for them. They refuse it. Not that they refuse it in a good faith, or that they rejected the money in good standing. They rejected the money because we know we expose the reason why they wanted the money. We expose them that it is the duty of a state to take care of whoever that they have taken in captivity. It is not duty of the family member. It is not done anywhere in the world. If you do not have the capacity to keep him there, release him, let him go. Let him go and take care of himself. That is what we made available, and that is the law. It is the law. You cannot take somebody captive and you expect other people, you call yourself a government, you take somebody captive, you went to Kenya, violate international right and treaty, law and treaty of extradition. Now you violated it, kidnapped this person, torture him, now brought him back with a private jet that was not reported in the Kenya airport, as Kenya actually presented their story. Because if this airport notice the arrival of the jet and the departure of the jet, there is supposed to be a stamp in the passports. Where are those evidence? It is nowhere to be found. You rendition this person criminally. Act of terrorism acted on this person. You kept him in a solitary confinement. You spend all this money to bring this individual who has never committed any crime, who is not a leader of Boko Haram, who is not a leader of Fulani headsmen, who is not a leader of Fulani terrorists, who is not a leader of ISIS in West Africa that is terrorizing Nigeria today. He is not a leader of any of this group. He is a leader of a movement of self-determination. You rendition him, spend all that money, but you don't have money to take care of him. And you are boldly to come and announce that you need money to take care of him. That so many people run out to say, we are going to make it 2 million. Oluna kugon. Oluna kugo. The only thing that the DSS should do, Nigeria government, is to release Ohamadike. Other than that, there is nothing else they can do. There is nothing else that is obtainable or sustainable. It's to release him. You can see that each and every time that the call for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu begin to gain, traction in the world, the suffering, the torture, and all these inhuman attacks on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will actually escalate. Just like you may know that the US personnel called for the release of Ahmadike. And this is what has been happening. Each time there is any organization in the international community that is actually intervening or questioning, trying to find out exactly what is going on with the detention of this erudite or Hamadike, you know what they will say? They will start torturing him. They will start actually making his life a misery, a living hell. They will start trying to make sure that they're trying to see if he will die before the implementation of the release. But of course, they cannot do it. Only if they want Nigeria to actually dissolve overnight. Okay, no, Chicha Ghana also. Because that's no metu anya. Gumi is there romanticizing with terrorists. Gumi is there romanticizing with terrorists. Gumi is there aiding terrorists. Gumi is there being advocate of terrorists. Gumi is there taking medical, equipment to the terrorists. Gumi is there reporting terrorists that the military are coming. Gumi has never been challenged or disturbed by any security officials. Then what does that tell you? That Nigeria groomed terrorists. A man who takes medical care to terrorists. A man who have meetings with terrorists. A man who is advocate of the terrorists. Who tells you that you should not vote somebody who is going to fight the terrorists. Nigeria left him going freely. Nigeria did not arrest him or brought him for questioning. But a man who did believe in self-determination because of lack of inclusions, because of marginalizations, because of torment, torture, hunger and starvation that is being inflicted on our people. All these things, as a result, is what you see that gave birth to the agitation today. And thank God that we were able to see those things, to wake up, to fight for our right in this generation, in this, Ado. It is very, very important that we live. We make sure if we don't make it right, our children will not make it right. It will continue to extend generation to generation. And the prophet liars and the criminals will continue to tell you, you have a generational curse. Generational curse is the system where the country where you dwell is actually running on. That is generational curse. If the country is rich, have you ever seen anybody in the United States, they have told they have a generational curse? That is the reason why they are poor. That is the reason why they are struggling. Have you seen it in UK? Why is it always in Nigeria that is having a generational curse? Of course, your generational curse is being rebellious against your Elohim Chukwu Kikabiama. And you embrace the white man's idol, and the white man idol is oppressing you through the system they have implemented. That is the generational curse. None other. Don't be fooled. Now, in all these things that is happening, while the call for the release of Ahmadike is gaining traction, they continue to present propaganda. They continue to present all sort of manner of propaganda to see if they are going to use it to scuttle that traction and make it gain contraction by some of these compromised or complicit organization leaders who say we are investigating. No. But they can never stop what we are doing, because the whole world knows that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. Look at this young girl. If she is a criminal, I don't know. If she is a kidnapper, I don't know. But what I know is that she is not and will never be part of IPOB, because IPOB or Eastern Security Network We do not kill people. We do not actually take any sort of drugs. They are God-chosen people to help to liberate the children of Elohim while gathering the remnant, while we are gathering the remnant of our fallen heroes and our 12 tribes where they have scattered abroad with our teachings and our preachings. These people are securing our bushes, that every day they will bring one criminal or one person to act drama to say she is or he is Eastern Security Network, while showing the world their criminal activities. I don't know if they were told, if you say you are Eastern Security Network, you will be given a soft landing for your all your criminality. I have said this several times, that when these criminals who call themselves the military, which are the Fulani Army of Conquest, who are actually trotting Biafra land, killing innocent people, then they see IPOB or anybody that is actually suspected to be Eastern Security Network, these people, they do not hesitate, they shoot them at sight. They kill them, dump their body. Now they will go and find somebody who is innocent, or when they catch the real culprit or the criminals, they will compel them to say they are Eastern Security Network. This is what Nigeria and their military formations are carrying out against the indigenous people of Biafra. They are killing our people day by day. They are killing them. They are not bringing them to the screen. They are always bringing maybe criminals that they have groomed, criminals that they have nurtured, criminals they have actually created in order to come to the media and act their drama. I want you to listen to this video of this girl. You will understand whether the activities and the sentiments of this woman make sense, or is it contradictory to what they are saying and presenting. I know I am not saying she could not be a criminal. She could be a criminal. But what I know is that she is not part of us. We don't know her. We don't know her activities. If she is a criminal, it is, her own. I don't know where this come from, but I have told you what is important. What is important is that whenever these people capture any IPOB member or Eastern Security Network, they suspect that you are Eastern Security Network, they kill that person immediately. That's what Nigeria police and their security forces are doing. Now let's listen to this.
So how many kidnapping have you been doing? Have you ever kidnapped?
I never kidnapped anyone.
Okay, you're only doing what else you have to say?
So,
What else again do you want to tell me?
nothing.
No. Okay. What is the use of this? What is this?
Charm.
Charm. What will be the work of this charm?
They protect me.
How? Gun no dey enter you. So if I shoot you gun now, no go enter you.
I did my period, but I wear on like this.
Okay, you are on your period.
Yes, sir.
So it will not work.
Yes.
But if you know
Story.
your period, if you wear am, if they shoot you gun.
Yes.
So make I wait. If you finish your period, make I shoot you.
Yes.
You no go enter. Eh?
Yes.
You no go enter. So you mean say if you know dey your period now, I shoot you gun, you no go enter you. You sure?
Yes.
That means I go wait too. I go wait. If you know dey your period, you go wear am, make I shoot you.
Okay, sir.
You agree?
Yes.
Remove am.
Are you listening to the shenanigans?
So what about this?
The same thing.
This one too na for gun.
I just wear this one for fancy.
What about this?
Nothing there, sir.
If I can be a criminal advocate, let me tell you one thing that is wrong in these settings. The indictment of Nigeria and their violation of human rights activities. This is a woman, regardless of what type of crime she has committed, playing a devil advocate. This woman is not supposed to be touched by the man, or supposed to be, going closer to her breast, her waist, taking out whatever she is wearing, nonsense she is wearing, claiming that it is actually the one protecting her from whatever criminal activity she is confessing that she has committed, which no matter what it is, a woman police or a woman security is supposed to be the one searching this woman, touching this woman, taking off everything that is in her and her body. If the man want to actually interrogate her, he can interrogate her without touching her, because this is violation of her body, because this man is touching her even close to her sensitive part. That is violation of human rights, regardless of her being a criminal or not. It's just that Nigeria, it is as a result for you to know that Nigeria does not value human rights. A woman is supposed to be the one removing whichever place it is. It is another woman, not a man. Not a man. Policeman cannot search a woman. A policewoman cannot search a man. Rather, you hold them and call the man, call backup that will come with a woman to search that woman. But in Nigeria, these things are not known, they are not recognized. Women, they are even men are searching their breast, searching their pants, their panties. These are men in Nigeria. That is violation. So now, this is playing a criminal law. Now, when we want to now bring to the reality of what this shenanigan they are doing, this girl, first of all, you can see that the girl, if she is not acting drama here, you can see they have used drug to mess her up. She is drugged. That is the reason why she is actually acting like she wants to faint. They have drugged her or whatever they have told her, because we always say, why is always this criminal they bring in front of us are not actually in pain or not actually in distress, but they are confessing. Probably that is the reason why this one is acting, or that is the reason why they drugged her so that she will be acting like she's dying. This is if you look at it, they are criminal. Now you will begin to now see where they took this woman. He is questioning her, touching her, actually violating her body in the name he is looking for charm, and after that, they will now tell you, I am Eastern Security Network, the killing machine of Eastern Security Network, just like Omar, the Fulani Janjaweed man who reported this, because he was the first to report this rubbish news. He was the first to report it. Let me show you. Before I started seeing the videos, he reported it yesterday. His name is Shehu Umar. He reported it, Janjaweed, because they are not worried about the Northeast, the ordeal in the Northeast that is ravaging the lives, taking people away from their homes. They are not worried about it. They are worried about one woman who is set up to come and say that implicate IPOB. They are worried about that woman. Ask this Shehu Umar Mugu Janjaweed. Ask him how many bandits or terrorists have we ever seen confessing that they are actually bandits, confessing that they have actually, been sent by who or who say who sent them, who is supplying the military arsenals that they're using to bombard communities in the north. How many of them have been captured and been interrogated in front of the cameras or the media? The answer is we haven't seen. But every day they tell you in Biafra land, this is the camp of ESN, this is the criminal, this is that, this is this. Is the insecurity in Biafra land more than the insecurity in the north? Why are they not catching criminals? Why are they not catching terrorists? Why is it only necessary to catch them and the ones in Biafra land, to bring them in front of the media to say it's an IPOB? We're making it clear to the world once again. We do not engage in criminality. We do not engage in crime. We are IPOB who is rooted under discipline. We are disciplined. We continue to be disciplined. Any day we are going to march. Any day we are going to march, the whole world will be aware of that. We do not do something and hide it. We will march, the whole world will hear about it. It is not noise. The day we will unveil our march, and that march is very, very near. We are exploring and trying to actually exploit, I will say, all the possible peaceful route and means and map to actually actualize and restore the dignity of a black man on the face of this planet Earth. We are exploring every possible peaceful means to achieve that. Whatever you are presenting that we are doing, we do not do them. We are not. It will benefit nothing to our struggle. What we continue to preach is, let my people go Pharaoh. Because if we decide to march, the whole world will know that we reminded them and we put them on high alert. We will not be called the aggressor. And if they want, they can call us aggressor. That will help the world also to understand the reason why Putin of Russia is called an aggressor. People will have to actually question what is the reason why Adolf Hitler was called an aggressor. We don't know the full story because we are now in this era experiencing people who are fighting for their freedom. They are being treated like an animal. The owner of Facebook is part of his ancestors who suffered the Holocaust. Yet he does not want people going through the same faith to actually for their voices to be heard. Then the whole world will bear us witness. Are we going to march? Our march is very, very near. The reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said that he needs our march is very, very near. It is because of the adage that says in the book of, I believe, Matthew or Acts, it says, the laborers, the work is plenteous, the laborers are few. So, 100 men. That is exactly the reason why he always say what he says, because his words is always embedded in figuratives. You need to decode it. You need to. That is how our people speak. That was how Jesus Christ was speaking. The parables of Jesus Christ. He spoke in parable. And that is the reason why the word, you cannot understand all of them, except if we come here to explain it, break it down to the knowledge of you as a layman to understand. Because when he speaks, so many people believe he is violent. He is not violent. He is not. Jesus Christ was an activist. Jesus Christ was a freedom fighter. That was the reason why he was killed. The same reason why Martin Luther King was killed. Because it's the same reason why they killed Jesus. Somebody else stood up to preach the same truth, they killed him. Bob Marley, the same faith. All these people who were able to open the eyes of black people, they were all killed. That is the Jesus perspective they were using. So if you still believe that Jesus Christ is a winged creature that is going to appear on the firmament, you should continue to believe until thy kingdom come. You will continue to believe because your knowledge is westernized. Your brain is actually manipulated that you may not see your Savior when they stand in front of you. Very, very necessary for us to know this, have the serenity, to know the difference, to ask questions, to do what if analysis. Because all this doctrine they've been instilling in you, what has it done for you? It never did anything for you. Why don't you change that doctrine and see if something will change in your life? Because you are a human being, not an animal. You are a human being with a large brain. You have a large brain. That's what makes you a superior animal. Human. So use that brain that you have. Do your what if analysis. Do your due diligence. Make your research. And find your truth. The truth you find for yourself is the best known to you. But we are only here to actually motivate you to look for that truth. I'm not telling you to believe in what I am saying. I am telling you to use my preaching as the point of contact to go and look for your truth. Maybe you will understand that we are whiter than white, we are whiter than snow. That is the reason why the enemy will continue to torment us, continue to buffet us from every areas, from every means and corners of life. But we cannot bequeath our children this life that we are living right now. We cannot bequeath our children a survival mode. We must start living. We must make our future to be brighter than what our past is by using the past to set the future straight. That is the reason why you must know your past. That is the reason why you must know your history. Because without your history, there is no future. Without your history, there is no present. Without your present, there is no future. You must be able to distinguish from these two for you to understand what is going on. Your political leaders, they are not going to do anything in favor of you. They shall continue to exploit you because this is what the system that they know does to ordinary people. The system of evil amalgamation, the system that is destroying every man and woman, children in Nigeria. That is the same system that we are talking about. Well, let us remind the world one thing, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of this movement, and we cannot follow any other person except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he's the man who knows the truth. He is the man who knows and believes what he believes in. He is the man who knows what he's fighting for. We are not fighting just to have a nation, just for having a nation's sake. We are not fighting for somebody who will come and tell us or brag that is the one who did it. Because your problem is always, why not me? We are not fighting to have that kind of a nation. We are fighting to have a free nation. A free nation. Free world. That's what we are fighting to achieve. Because those of you who are forming government in exile or government at home, or who call themselves spokesman, or you call yourself, you are taking people to war, on what basis and on what ground? What type of freedom do you want to give them? Have you taught them what you are trying to give them? Because you need to come with your philosophy. If you ask every Muslim man, they told you that every prophet that has ever come to the world, they come with a teaching. They come with a message. They come with a different message. They will not come with a message that is embedded on this one said. No, they come with their message. Every prophet, every messenger came with their message. So, you should understand that the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the message that is uncompromisable, the message that will give you freedom, the message, the teaching, the doctrine is the only thing that will help you to emancipate. But let's remind the world what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right now.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British national and political activist who was traveling on a British passport when he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya for 8 days by Kenyan and Nigerian government-sponsored criminals. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was blindfolded and criminally renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria on a government-chartered flight without an extradition process. Nigerian government continues to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British national, hostage under severe torture. In spite of court judgments ordering for his immediate release, Nigerian government continues to starve Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, denying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu medical treatments and treating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu worse than a condemned criminal, effectively worsening Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's health condition. In spite of all the protests around the world condemning the extraordinary rendition of this great eloquent political activist and demanding for his immediate release, the successive British government continues to look away and do nothing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British national and who is being tortured to death by the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government. The questions now are, what does the British government know about the planned kidnap, torture, and criminal rendition of this British national who is now in harm's way in the hands of the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government? When does the British government know what they now know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's criminal rendition? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is neither a criminal nor a wanted person in the civilized world. Why do the relevant high British government officials romanticizing the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government, which is sponsoring terrorism around the world? Successive high court judgments in Nigeria, including the Nigerian Court of Appeal, have condemned the torture and criminal rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and have discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of all bogus criminal and ordered his immediate release. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also condemned the torture and criminal rendition of this British national by the Nigerian government and her accomplices, and subsequently ordered Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's immediate release and compensation be paid. Neither the British nor the Nigerian government has responded to the United Nations order to release this British national who has committed no crime known to law. The further questions are, is the British government an accomplice to this heinous crime against her own citizen, which is a crime against humanity? Why is the British government, Foreign Secretary Honorable James Cleverly, and his predecessor refused to intervene to secure the release of this British national? Why would Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's dark skin color be a seemingly suggestive determinant to get the British government support he deserves like any other British national, be he or she white or yellow? Why would Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appear to be denied the right to freedom of life by the British government? Why would Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be denied the basic rights that he inalienably owns as a human being and as a British national, which every other British national receives anywhere in the world? Why is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ms. Catriona Lane, romanticizing, holding hands, and taking photos with the terrorists in Nigerian government who are holding her own British national unlawfully hostage, in spite of United Nations Working Group and court decision ordering for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's immediate release? Nigerian government Attorney General Mr. Abubakar Malami and his fellow conspirators continue to be recklessly lawless and disobeying court orders with impunity. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to be a British citizen, would he be abandoned to die in a foreign country for committing no crime known to law? The answer is no. For asking Nigerian government to stop killing the Biafran people in Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. And for fairly asking to conduct a United Nations monitored referendum to determine the fate of Biafran independence from Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. For practicing Judaism as his faith,
This is where we are going to believe in it. And of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. And we shall continue to preach that and let the world know, because our message is gaining traction, while their blackmail is gaining contraction. We will continue to do our due diligence, our duty, to make sure we free our leader Ohamadike, one of Biafra. I don't know who wanted to call in, but I might not have much time. I only have 3 minutes to go. But if you call quickly, I will be able to take your call, because I see so many questions and so many arguments here in the comment section, especially on the YouTube. So I was not able to focus on those comments and the questions, but indeed, all you need to do is to align with instruction. Because what destroyed our people is rebellious. We are rebelling against the instruction given to our people from the beginning. Even until now, we are still rebellious, and that is what is destroying us. Any day we start aligning with the instruction given to us, we will be able to make it quicker. So for those of you who are asking questions, I want you to know, go and align with the instruction. When Biafra will come, you will not even know what happened. All you need is to continue to extend this gospel. That is what your job is now. Your job is not to go and start counting days, because the days you are counting, Biafra could even come before the days. Biafra could come after the days. Biafra will come, and it is going to be like a miracle, which the whole world will observe that our people in the Caribbean, in the North America, they are in the South America, they are going to troop into our land, because Biafra is like a light and a beacon, just like our leader said. They will follow it. So it is not about what you people are thinking, because it is the last miracle. But I will leave it here until we meet again. Stay safe. Share this video. If you're watching on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa, follow that YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, that you may see us online all the time when we come online. If you are watching on Facebook at Judge Money Blog, at Judge Money Blog Official, at Judge Money Official, at Judge Money Blog/TV, share the video, like the video, and the algorithm will continue to do sharing. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.